Shalom, shalom. First off, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachakodash. Yahweh is the true name of Heavenly Father, who the world ignorantly calls God, and Yahweh Shai is the true name of the Heavenly Father's Son, the Son of Yahweh, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. I want to give double honors to my apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who I learned this truth from, and peace and blessings goes to the hopeful members of the Lord's elect. My brothers that are on the highways pushing his word and his truth and sincerity. In today's lesson, Lord willing, this lesson is edifying through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Rachakodash, which Rachakodash is Hebrew for the Holy Spirit. In today's lesson, I have this video that I want to play for you brothers, going into how we are not the same. All right, because the whole wide world, and you can blame Esau, Edom, so-called white man, but the whole wide world think that the so-called African-American man or black man or so-called Haitian, so-called West Indian, you know, Jamaican, Trinidadian, they all think that the people that are in Africa, that we're all the same. No. All right. There's a difference between these people of Africa, which, Africa is just a continent that's filled with, different various African countries, which a lot of these countries are Ham. All right. A lot of these people that live in Africa are Hamites. So let's not forget that you do have a lot of Israelites in Africa. You do have actual Israelites still living in various, parts of Africa, like Nigeria, Ghana, all right, different parts of the Congo of Africa. Okay? But you do have a lot of Ham as well, because that's their land. Okay? But there's a difference between a Hamite and the so-called Negro, West Indian, or Haitian. We're not the same, because people of the world, they like to mingle us and put us all together like we're the same. Ain't no goddamn Israelite, whether you're from the tribe of Judah, Benjamin, or Levi, is not going to eat monkeys, not going to put a goddamn plate in their hip, not going to circumcise their woman, not gonna jump over cows and drink goddamn piss. Ain't no Israelite going to do that. But a Hamite will. All right, and what you're seeing is a Hamite, man. We, the so-called black man, is not the same, man. Even though, we came from Africa, that's where Esau got us from. But that's not our original homeland. Our people think that Africa is the homeland. Life started in Africa. No. Life started in Eden, in Israel. That's where life started. All right? Africa is not our homeland. All right? The land of Israel is. Okay? And this is one of the things that you learn when you come into this truth, man. Because Esau likes to push that lie like that we're African. They call the so-called black men African American. We're not African American. That's a name, a byword that was put upon us. And I believe, forgot what, social right activist, or he went to the government and said that the black man should be called African American. That's what we want to be called. I forgot who it was. His name slippeth my mind, but we're not African American. We're not black. We're not African. These people in Africa jumping over cows are not the same people, man. And the spirit tells us otherwise. Now, before I get to scriptures, I want to read this, because these people, well, Slaki, before I even read this, let me play this video. See, these people right here, look, Jake, not Jake, this Hamite, Slaki, this Hamite, Got to hunting baboons, eating baboons. You know, this is the type of shit Ham does, man. But we're not the same people. Okay? The so-called black man and these Africans that you see in these videos are not the same people, man. All right, we're not the same. Okay, but right here I have this, let me show y'all. Let's see. The Bible's kind of old. Right? I have the Compact Bible Dictionary. All right, Zondervan Bible Dictionary. Right? And when you go to the right here where it says Ham, all right, it says Ham, which in the Hebrew word is Ham, but that's where you get the word chemistry from, kind of. Ham, which means hot. It says the youngest son of Noah, born probably about 96 years before the flood. Now, when you go into the story of Noah, Noah had 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And all these nations that you see on earth today, these various nations, they either came from Ham, Shem, and Japheth. The so-called Negro man, so-called Negro man, black man, Haitian, West Indian, as well as the Latino men, our line did not come from Ham. Our line came from Shem. Okay? So Shem, Ham, and Japheth. So all these nations that you see on earth today either came from one of those, one of the 3 sons of Noah. All right? Now these so-called African people, all right, like the one you saw on the screen, did not come from Shem. He came from Ham. Okay? So it says, and one of 8 persons to live through the flood, because when the Lord saved Noah, he saved Noah, his sons, and their wives, a total of 8 people. It says, he became the progenitor of the dark races, not the Negroes, right? Not the Negroes, in which Esau, the so-called man, likes to put that lie on us. And even a lot of our people still believe in that lie. The whole world believes in that lie, that we're African, because we have we have dark skin. All right. But again, he became the progenitor of the dark races, not the Negroes. So not the so-called black man, not the so-called West Indian, Jamaicans, Trinidadians, not the so-called Haitian. Okay. But the Egyptians, which the Hebrew, to say it in Hebrew is Mizraim, Ethiopians, Libyans, and Canaanites. His indice when his father lay drunk and brought a curse upon Canaan, another Hamite nation. All right, let's see that. It says Genesis 10:6 through 20. Let's get that real quick. Well, not the whole chapter. It's a lengthy chapter. But let's see. Genesis chapter 10, verse 6. It says, and the sons of Ham, Cush, the Cushites, Mizraim, which the Cushites, all right, are these Ethiopians that we see today that want to consider themselves God's people. Nah, their true lineage go back to Cush. All right, and the sons of Ham, Cush, and Mizraim. All right, Mizraim is the Egyptians. All right, not the Egyptians that people see as today. Like I went to the gas station. This guy looked kind of unique, and I asked him, "Oh, where you from?" "Oh, I'm Egypt, brother. I'm Egypt." "Oh, you Egypt, huh? You're from Egypt, huh? You Egyptian?" "Yeah, you're one of them ancient Egyptians." "Yeah," like in my mind, like, yeah, right. Because them ancient Egyptians today are known as the Sudanese people, man. Because not only did we lose our heritage and who we are as a people, these nations too. All right, you have Moab, which call themselves Chinese or China. We have always been in that land. The Japanese call themselves, the Ammonites call themselves today Japanese. Okay, so not only did the Israelites lost their true heritage, okay, these other nations do too. The other nations, they have lost who they truly are, according to the Bible. All right, but it says, in the sons of Ham, Cush, and Mizraim, and Put, and Canaan. All right, And the sons of Cush, Sheba, Havilah, and Shabbat, which just basically goes into the line of the descendants of Ham. Okay, nowhere you have us, the so-called Negro, West Indian, or Haitian. We do not come from Ham. We came from Shem. Okay, let me see. You got Shem, goes into the lineage Shem. You got Abraham. Then you got Isaac and Jacob. Okay, even Ishmael, they came from Shem. Esau, they're Shemitic. Okay. Right, it goes into Shem. You go to verse 11, Shem. All right, then Eber, Ibar, Peleg, division. See, Nahor, Terah, then Abraham. All right, which his name was Abram. All right, we came from the line of Shem, and Abraham had Isaac. Well, he had Ishmael, then he had Isaac, and then Isaac had Jacob, and that's the line we come from. All right, we don't come from Ham, like these devils like to betray us to, and our people still believe to this day. When you go into the history, yeah, like I said earlier, we were dwelling in Africa because our people escaped a great persecution when we were dwelling in Jerusalem, man. When Rome, the Titus, they besieged Jerusalem, was killing us. All right, a lot of our people fled throughout the world, and a lot of our people fled in mainly in the parts of Africa, man, which a lot of our people are still into to this day. So just because you see somebody and he says, "Yeah, I'm born in Nigeria," doesn't mean that he's a Hamite. Because no, a lot of our people are Jakes. There's a lot of our people still in Africa. There's a lot of Nigerians that are actually Jake, man. Who do you think sold us to the Grecians? Ham did. Ham sold us to these to Esau, man. Let's get that in Joel, the 3rd chapter. All right, this is Joel 3:3 says, "And they have cast lots for my people, and given a boy for an harlot, and sold a girl for wine, that they might drink. What have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon?" Which these are different Hamite nations. It says, all the coast of Palestine, which Palestine is just another way of saying Philistine. Which Philistines was once Israel's greatest enemy at that time, during the time of the judges, all the way up to King David, King Saul. Well, King Saul and King David, they're always been our enemies. Okay? Will ye render me recompense? And if ye recompense me swiftly and speedily, will I return your recompense upon your own head? Because ye have taken my silver and my gold, and have carried into your temples my goodly pleasant things. And it's not like they have done it before. They took in the Ark of the Covenant. The Philistines, they took the Ark of the Covenant and brought it next to their idol Dagon. When you go into that account, it says, "The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians," which is Grecians, the Greek way of saying, is another way of saying, the Greeks, which who are the Grecians? The Greeks, Esau, Edom. Ishmael had a part in selling us to Esau, but Ham as well. All right, and what were they able to? How was Ham? Okay, right. If you want to go based off skin, right? How was Ham able to make sure that when they were going to sell their slaves, to Esau, how did they make sure they did not grab their own people? All right, because Ham knew who they were rounding up and selling to Esau. They knew that they were selling the true people of God, the Israelites. They knew that we weren't the same people. All right, they knew that. You had a lot of forts, a lot of cities that Israel built in Africa. Okay? But Ham, they knew where to go. They knew, oh, we got to get these people and sell them, man. We got to get the Israelites and sell them. They knew who they were gathering up, man. It's not like they didn't know. They weren't selling their own people, even though you did have Jake that sell their own. All right? The most part, it was Ham, man, that was gathering up Jake and selling him to Esau, man. And they knew because we weren't the same people. That's the point I'm trying to portray here. Okay? It says, the children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians, that ye might remove them far from their border. Right. And where do they sell us to? They sold us to Esau. And where did they take us to? They took us away from our land, or right now our current dwelling place, at that time, which was Africa, and our land is Israel, and brought us all the way to the other side of the world, man. Okay? And they knew to do that because we weren't the same people. So we gotta stop believing our people gotta stop believing they Africans, man, because we're not. We're different people. Our spirits don't align. When I was a little kid, I used to watch Animal Planet, and they used to show the show of Africans jumping over cows and shit that the woman, the rituals that they did to get a husband. And I always ask myself, how the fuck am I African? I would never do this shit. How are we the same people? Because we're not the same people, man. All right? Let's get Romans chapter 8. I think it's verse 16. Right? 16 says, Romans 8 and 16, the Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of the Most High. And who are the children of the Most High? The so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and Seminole Indians. It's the Spirit. All right? Because you do have Israelites that look like these other nations, but are actually Israelites, but it's the Spirit. Okay? That's how you tell who's the children of the Most High, man. Because, though you may have the same skin complexion, right? That's why we went to Africa. That's why it says earth helped the woman in Revelation 12. Romans persecuted us because we went to Africa because we had somewhat of the same skin complexion as them, man. So we went hiding. All right, but best believe they knew who we were. It's not like, oh man, where all these people come from? They knew who we were, man. You knew that we were Israelites. That's why they were able to sell us. Okay, but it's the Spirit that beareth witness that we are the children of the Most High, man. Because we know what we know, even though our people may not know it's a law. They know not to jump over cows or drink cow piss, man. That's just disgusting. They know not to do that shit. They know not to get cow manure and light it as incense. They know not to do that shit, man. There's a difference between us. Ham, they do that shit 'cause that's part of their culture. All right, they ain't gonna do that shit no more when we're ruling over them. Okay? But let's get Exodus chapter 1. I'm gonna get to the point with this one because it goes into when the Pharaoh ordered all the boys 2 years and under to be slaughtered. This was, let me see. Well, he commanded any not under 2 years old slaughter, any boy. At first, he commanded any boy that Israel bare to be slaughtered. Right? But this is Exodus 1 and 17. It says, but the midwives feared the Most High. Say, fear the Most High. See, only Israelites are going to fear the Most High, not no damn Hamite. All right? You ain't going to have no Hamite fearing the Most High unless he is an Israelite in the spirit. Unless, he's actual Israelite. That looks like a Hamite. I'm pretty sure you got those out there, man. You got Ham-looking Israelites, but really Israelites. right? But only Israelites going to fear the Most High. These other nations, they're not given that spirit to fear the Most High. That's why they do what they do. It says, the midwives feared the Most High, and did not as the king of Egypt commanded them, but saved the men's children alive. And the king of Egypt called for the midwives and said unto them, why have ye done this thing, and have saved the men children alive? And the midwife said unto Pharaoh, because the Hebrew women are not as the Egyptian women. Right. We're different people. We're not the same people. For they are lively, and are delivered ere the midwives come in unto them. Right. We are lively. The Israelite women are lively. Even Israelite, being around Judah's lively, man. Like, sometimes Judah just can't help but being loud, That's just her spirit. Judah got salt. Judah got flavor, man. These other nations, especially Ham, they don't got salt. They don't got that flavor. They don't got a lively spirit about them, man. Okay? And jumping over cows and drinking piss and all that shit ain't lively, man. That's heathenistic. Jake knows how to throw a party, man. It was to the point when the Ark of Covenant came back. Jake started dancing and shouting. You can tell the lively spirit, doesn't Jake? To the point where the Philistines thought, like, what's going on? They heard the shout from where they were at, from their camp. They thought there was war or something where it happened, but Jake was just excited, man. King David, when they got the Ark of the Covenant back, he started dancing. We're lively. We're lively people, man. We're so lively we can spark up the room and bring joy and happiness to you other nations. The room might be dead and silent, but let Jake come in there with charisma, with the spirit, a lively spirit that knows how to get everyone smiling. Jake would do that, man, because we're lively people. Even our babies are lively. Okay, when Moses, they saw that his parents saw that he was a special child, man. Like, Moses was from Israelite, from the tribe of Levi. He was a lively spirit. That's how we are, man. Ever since birth. Other nations are not like that. These other nations are not lively like us. We're the salt of the earth, man. Remember that. We're lively people. So the so-called Negro man, Haitian man, and West Indian are not Hamites. They're not African. That's just a byword that Esau put upon us that the whole world believes. Even our own people, man. They believe that we're African. No, man. We're Israelites. There's a difference. All right? But with that, I'm going to give all